Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. Thank you very much for joining the webinar today. My name is Ashwint, and I'm a senior marketing analyst at Zoho Analytics. I'm joining you today from Chennai. With a massive explosion of data across sources, businesses have embraced analytics to extract meaningful insights out of their data. Wherever your organization is on its BI and analytics journey, it's important to take stock of your existing analytical systems to stay current and ensure you're enabling your teams to make smart growth decisions based on data. And so, folks, here we are with the five growth drivers a modern analytics platform delivers. Here's the lean agenda for the day. We will get started with the enterprise analytics journey. Switching gears, I'll be talking to you about from ingestion to action with a modern BI and analytics platform. With that, I'll be quickly summarizing the webinar and we will be heading straight into a Q&A session. Now we have a good mix of audience today. So, a quick introduction of Zoho. Zoho has been in this business for more than 25 years. Today, we enjoy the loyalty of more than 60 million users spread across 190 countries. Over the years, we have successfully built more than 45 different applications to serve businesses like yours. Now, about Zoho Analytics. In Zoho's hierarchy, Zoho Analytics, the team that I represent, is from the BI and analytics suite of products. It's a self service business intelligence and analytics platform. With Zoho Analytics, you can get your data from more than 250 data sources like files, feeds, cloud databases, local databases, and popular business applications. With all that data inside your platform, you can visually analyze your data in the form of pre built reports and dashboards. On top of that, you can customize your analytics using the intuitive drag and drop feature, or you can always count on our ML powered AI assistant for insights. Zoho Analytics enables you to analyze your data in more than 50 different ways in the form of charts, pivot tables, KPI widgets, and dashboards. And doesn't end there. You can also collaborate with your teams. You can have these reports and dashboards shared with individuals or with groups. You can have them embedded inside your blogs, websites, intranet portals, or anywhere you want to have them. You can have these reports and dashboards up and running on big screens in the form of slideshows in a few simple steps. On top of that, you can also humanize data interactions through the state of the art web portal feature that's built into the application, which enables you to build your own web portals from Zoho Analytics. All right, with a quick introduction on Zoho and Zoho Analytics, let's step into the spotlight for the day. That's the enterprise analytics journey. Well, I've coined this journey as from ingestion to action because the enterprise analytics journey follows a typical BI workflow that exists in any enterprise business. It starts with breaking data silos. It's about ingesting your data from different sources into your platform, followed by data management and preparation, which is a crucial layer for any enterprise business. The third stage on the enterprise analytics journey is unified business analytics. It enables you to have a 360-degree view of your business, followed by data democratization. The final leg in the enterprise analytics journey is all about fostering collaboration. Now, in this webinar, I'm going to talk to you about how a modern BI and analytics platform drives growth across these five stages or throughout the BI workflow, with special focus on the innovations that are happening in each of these domains. Well, let's get started with breaking data silos. Let's get into the finer details. When it comes to breaking data silos, enterprise businesses are faced with two major challenges. The first one being the diversity of data and the diversity of data sources. Today, data gets generated in different file formats across multiple sources. On top of that, this data gets logged up inside your business applications or your custom built applications. On some cases, it's also stored in your local drives or on your cloud databases or your data warehouses. Now, today's modern enterprise businesses have also deployed their systems across geographies at client locations, vendor locations, distributor locations, and much more. So, these are becoming a huge or maybe a prominent source for generating data for enterprise businesses of today. Now, that being the first challenge, the second one is about building a robust data pipeline to feed your analytics. Now, it's usually not a very enjoyable experience when it comes to building a data pipeline. Well, because the modifications that you want to do are usually not so seamlessly accommodated. On top of that, you got to have adequate resource to maintain and run this data pipeline, keep it well oiled for your analysis. What enterprise businesses today may be looking for is a solution that will simplify building a data pipeline and also having a powerful one to feed their analytics ecosystem. Well, I'm going to now quickly take you through, detail out how enterprise businesses were addressing these challenges, and some of them continue to use these methods too. Well, you have your data sources like data warehouse, your database, your business applications, cloud storage, and much more. Enterprise businesses extracted data from these data sources, transformed it to the likeness of the destination, and they had it loaded into the destination. What I'm talking to you now is about ETL: extract, transform, and load. Now, you may be aware that ETLs are built on monolithic architectures. It works well with schema-based data sources like relational or SQL databases. Given the gaining popularity of non-SQL databases and also given the huge data volumes, the in-memory processing capability of the ETL layer could not handle these heavy transformations. So businesses moved to ELT, where they extracted and they loaded the data into the destination and then got it transformed depending on the business needs. All right, well, with this in place, what's happening today? Well, you continue to have your data sources, which is rapidly expanding. And today, the modern BI and analytics platforms have consumed the ETL and ELT layers into their tech stack. How does that work? Well, any advanced analytics platform can get your data through native connectors. In few simple clicks, you can connect your analytics application to your data source and have your data into your application. You can also have data pipeline service providers get the data from different sources and pumped into your modern BI and analytics platform. Now, these platforms are carefully engineered to work seamlessly with these data pipeline service providers who can ingest your data, transform it, and get it into your analytics platform. On top of that, some modern BI and analytics platforms have a robust set of APIs that enables them to connect to the data sources. Now, with these groundbreaking progress in breaking data silos, enterprise businesses have effectively minimized IT interventions, and business users can by all by themselves have their modern BI and analytics platform connected to data sources with no or limited coding. It has also helped enterprise businesses optimize their data management costs. All right, so these are some of the innovations that are happening in the data ingestion space. Now, that brings us to the second stage in our enterprise analytics journey, that's data preparation and management. A few years ago, Forbes published an article which says that nearly 60 to 80% of the time, or to be more specific, of the analysis time, is spent on data preparation and management. Now, that's a very convincing reason for us to get deeper into this subject. Well, modern enterprise businesses of today look for ways to get faster and more flexible access to insights. As we may all know, analytics is one of the prime ways of achieving it. Now, in the process, if you compromise on the data quality, your business findings are more likely to get compromised. So it's important that data of good quality is pumped into your analytical systems. Now, we also saw that nearly 80% of the time is spent by citizen data scientists and also data scientists for combing through the sources on data modeling and much more. But it's important to create a system that can enable analytics for all by simplifying the data preparation and management layer. So, what are modern BI and analytics platforms doing to address these concerns? They're consciously weaving AI and ML data preparation and management capabilities into their tech stack. Now, with these, businesses can integrate, model, cleanse, transform, enrich, and catalog data. Some advanced platforms have built in data preparation capabilities too. This means it's built into the platform, it becomes a part of their BI workflow. So the end objective is to build a business friendly data preparation layer. And with the augmentation of analytics, data preparation is becoming much easier for enterprise businesses. Now I'm going to show you a few trending data preparation capabilities built into modern BI and analytics platforms in line with the needs of modern enterprise businesses. What you see here on the screen is a screenshot of Zoho Data Prep, the data preparation tool from Zoho. I would like to draw your attention to an interesting capability built into this tool. Once you get your data inside your platform, the system understands the data and it's able to identify the data formats. Like you see, the lead IDs are identified as numbers, the lead name as text, and the email column is clearly identified as the email. Not just that, I would like to draw your attention to the red boxes that you see here on the screen. The tool has also analyzed the data quality at a column level. That is, you see a data quality bar just above the lead ID. And also, it has analyzed the data quality at the dataset level. And the dataset quality is represented here in the form of a donut chart. So, this enables businesses to have a holistic view of their data quality. Here's another interesting capability built into these applications, that's intelligent suggestions. Once the dataset quality is analyzed, the AI engine skims through your data and suggests possible transformations that can address these data quality issues at a column level. You can just click on these suggestions and have the transformations done instantly. Here's a rule set that enables you to capture the history of transformations done on your data. The beauty is that these rule sets can be used for preparing any other data set. And these rule sets can also be customized based on your requirements. That is, you can add more transformations into the history of data transformations that you see here inside the red box. Or if you find something inappropriate for another data set, you can just have it removed and you can run the rule set over another data set to have that data prepared as well. So you don't have to keep doing that again and again. And then data catalog is a crucial feature for enterprise businesses where you can tag your data based on your application. So I have highlighted the tags inside the red box. I've tagged my data as analytics and that's for marketing. That helps you to identify the data quickly. And you can also mark the data as ready for use, so that enables or avoids confusion when you want to push your data into the respective destinations. Now, in the data preparation and management domain, we are witnessing advanced BI and analytics vendors heavily investing in beefing up their data preparation and management capabilities. And we will continue to see these innovations happening in this domain as well. It's going to get better and it's going to help more people prepare their data all by themselves. And also, it's going to simplify the process of data preparation for large enterprises like yours. Now, with that note, let's step into the third stage in the enterprise analytics journey, that's unified business analytics. All right, the first poll we saw how a diverse user base adopts BI, consumes insights day in and day out for decision making. So, a large modern BI enterprise has citizen data scientists to data scientists consuming these insights day in and day out for decision making. On top of that, modern enterprises are also on the lookout to cut short their time to insights. The quicker you get to the insights, the faster the decisions are, and better are the outcomes and the actions to follow. Now, these things need to be done by the platform, which means the platform has to do the heavy lifting for the enterprise businesses. And unified business analytics is a game changer when it comes to this. Unified Business Analytics serves pre built analytics for users. Now, pre built analytics covers the entire spectrum of data models, KPI metrics, data reporting and dashboards, and domain trained NLQ capabilities that enables you to jumpstart with analytics right away. This means once you get your data into your platform, you're served with a set of pre-built reports that helps you to get started instantly. I'm going to show you an example in the next slide that will give us more clarity on this. The smart blending capability in the unified business analytics domain is certainly a game changer. It helps enterprise businesses automatically model and blend data from different sources, enabling businesses to have real-time cross-functional insights that provides a 360-degree view of their business. I'm going to show you another example for this as well. Now, with pre-built analytics and also smart blending, unified business analytics enables business users to run their own um, or build your own reports and dashboards. So, for an enterprise business, it's about customizing enterprise data models to work with your existing data models. All right, I'm going to quickly show you an example of pre-built analytics. And for this, I have integrated Zoho Analytics with Salesforce. So what you see here is a pre-built dashboard. Once I get the data into Zoho Analytics, this dashboard is readily available. So I get access to more than 100 plus reports and dashboards that are readily available for consumption. And I don't have to build any of these. Now, it's a good way to kickstart your analysis and your insights journey. You have almost the important metrics analyzed and presented here on this dashboard. So, like I said, this is one of the dashboards that you get. Similarly, you have multiple other dashboards and reports, and it's not just with Salesforce, but with any other business application or maybe select business applications. When you have your platforms integrated, you get access to these pre built reports and dashboards. All right, now to demonstrate the smart blending capability, let's consider an enterprise e commerce business. And let's say it runs on multiple business applications like any other enterprise does. So for marketing, it uses Sales IQ, which in turn works with Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, with the website, Twitter, and much more. The CRM that the enterprise e-commerce business has deployed is Salesforce. It has a ERP that runs on AWS, and it has also it uses Zendesk as its ticketing system or the help desk system. Now, I'm going to show you an interesting dashboard which blends data from multiple sources, analyzes it, and presents it here right here on the screen. So we were talking about breaking data silos, and now we're talking about breaking insights silos. That is, you don't have to have these insights stacked inside these applications that you just saw in isolation, but you have data smartly blend across these sources, analyzed and presented here. Now, with this mission control dashboard, businesses can go deeper and understand the variables influencing their business outcomes and how they behave and interact with each other. Say, for example, how your marketing efforts translates into sale, what impact your support activities have on your sale, and much more. So you can analyze all those possibilities, get granular insights, and also it gives you a 360-degree view of everything that's happening inside your business. All right, so with these interesting updates happening in unified business analytics, let's switch to the next stage on our analytics journey, that's data democratization. Well, this is something that's very close to me because I come from a non IT background and I've been a huge beneficiary of data democratization. Now, I'm going to quickly rewind and talk to you about how data democratization evolved and what it is today and what can you expect in the near future. Well, when data analytics was in its embryonic stage, enterprise businesses heavily dependent on the IT teams to ingest data, analyze data, and distribute those insights across or to stakeholders. Then came the era of self service, which enabled features like drag and drop to empower business users. So, business users could simply drag and drop to build their own reports and dashboards to have their data analyzed. Well, what's happening today? With the advent of augmented analytics, a stream of advanced analytics capabilities are now flooding into the market. Modern BI and analytics platforms have carefully leveraged on search driven analytics, that is NLP, where business users can simply ask questions to the platform without having to build any report or a dashboard and get their answers instantly. So you can just ask a question and you get the answer. I'm going to show you how that works. The Q&A mode or the NLP capability is further burgeoning into conversational analytics, where users are able to interact with the platforms through an immersive chat like interface. So these interactions are getting more contextual and are further refining the insights that business users can draw from these conversations. Along with the NLP capabilities, some BI vendors are also leveraging the energy capabilities, that's the natural language generation. So these are feeding or serving enterprise business users with auto insights in the form of narrations on top of the visualizations that they can build easily. Now I'm going to show you a couple of examples. The first one on how conversational analytics capabilities are now gaining steam in market. So I have embedded our ML powered AI assistant Ask Zia inside this presentation for a live demonstration. And I'm just going to ask Zia for sales by month. Under the hood, the AI has understood my question, analyzed the data, and has presented a precise uh, insight in the form of a report, which gives me a detailed breakup of the sales across months. Now, I would also like to talk about an interesting capability that some modern BI and analytics platforms are building. So, these advanced analytical capabilities are enabling businesses to move away from a reactive zone to a more proactive zone. So, capabilities like forecasting, trend lines are enabling businesses to do that. So, in that context, now I would like to forecast my sales for the next 6 months. I'm asking Zia forecast my sales for the next 6 months, and you can see the red dotted line is the forecast of sales for the next 6 months. If you had noticed, I had not typed out the entire question, but the AI built into the platform understands the context of the question and it gives me a relevant reply. Now I want to further break down my sales by region. So I'd say by region, and I get the sales across central, east, west regions, and I have the forecasted data as well. So these are some of the interesting updates that are happening in the NLP domain where platforms are able to build meaningful contextual conversations with business users. All right, what you see here on the screen is the NLG capability built into some advanced analytics platforms. These platforms are able to serve contextual insights in the form of narrations like what you see here on the right hand side of the screen inside the red box. So these are some additional data points apart from the visualization that you see on the left hand side that gives more power to or for business users to make better business decisions. Now, these are some of the interesting advancements that are happening in the data democratization area, and this is getting better with platforms rolling out features that support multi-language and also voice commands. With that, we are moving to the final leg of our enterprise analytics journey that's all about fostering collaboration across teams. Now, collaboration is a key factor to accelerate BI adoption in any enterprise business, thereby driving more data driven decisions. Now, how did BI and analytics vendors respond to that? They started delivering insights at multiple points of consumption. Platforms had the capability to embed their reports and dashboards inside blogs, intranet portals, websites, and much more. However, what's happening now? A few advanced BI platforms are bringing the NLG and NLP capabilities that we just saw at these points of consumptions. This means if you want to interact with your data, you want more insights, you don't necessarily have to log into your application to or perform those analysis, but you can do it right in context at the points of consumption. And some BI platforms are taking it further by serving more consumerized experiences with dynamic data stories. Now, these are enabling enterprise businesses to design data stories the way they want without having to code. And this is helping them demystify complex KPIs because they're able to present data and insights the way they want. Well, all this is good, but there's something that's sitting right above all this for enterprise businesses, that's data governance. Some modern BI and analytics platforms are able to stream real time insights based on content, role, and use. They're able to give you role based access controls, and they're able to serve insights, or it enables you to define who sees what, who gets access to what. And uh, that granularity in data governance for an enterprise business is very crucial. Now, here's an example of an innovative way of presenting your data. So, for this example, I've taken Zoho Analytics and Zoho Show, which are tightly integrated. In few simple clicks, you can have your reports put across inside a presentation like the one that you see here. You have pre-built templates where your presentations can go and conveniently sit, or your reports and dashboards can sit. And on top of that, you can also add elements like text, videos, and images, and you can customize it the way you want to present your data stories. These are self-updating reports and dashboards, and they're also interactive, they're live, and that really makes data storytelling more enjoyable, and you can communicate or collaborate with your teams in a more effective way using features like these. Here's another example of a web portal that I've built inside Zoho Analytics. So I've just dragged and dropped to build this portal that you see here. Now, this helps you to present data without bias and with proper empathy and context so that enterprise business users can absorb and leverage insights for more intelligent decision making. So it's fully customizable, and you can build your own portals the way you want depending on your business needs. So data storytelling is emerging as one of the key front runners when it comes to fostering collaborations in enterprise businesses. So this flexibility that modern BI and analytics platforms that give you enable you to present or humanize data interactions the way you want. All right, folks. So that wraps up the 5 stages on our enterprise analytics journey, and I'm going to do a quick summary before we head into the Q&A session. So we saw the ingestion to action framework, the enterprise analytics growth path, which started with the process of breaking data silos, where we discussed about ETL and ELT layers getting absorbed into modern BI and analytics platforms. Then came the data preparation and management layer, a very crucial layer, which is now being augmented by AI, which is completely redefining the way data preparation and management is happening today. Then came unified business analytics, which enable enterprise businesses to get data from multiple sources, smartly blend, understand the influence of one variable on the other to give a 360-degree view of what's happening inside your business. Data democratization, the evolution of data democratization from IT dependency to self service models. And today we are talking about augmented analytics, where uh, BI vendors are heavily investing on NLG and NLP capabilities and are refining it further to have a wider adoption across enterprises. And finally, the last leg on the enterprise analytics growth path was fostering collaboration, where we saw data storytelling is becoming a game changer in enabling business users to present data the way they want to foster collaboration across teams inside the organization. Now, if you're planning to invest in a modern BI and analytics platform, Here's a quick checklist for you. Check out for the extensibility and customization uh, ability of the platform, the robust set of APIs for data integration, modeling, authorization, which is a very crucial factor for enterprise businesses, custom styling and data reporting and embedding enables elaborate customization and tightest possible low code, no code integrations with any tech stack. Then comes your ability to scale up depending on your growing business needs and growing data volumes. Well, flexibility in deployment. There are some industries like healthcare and defense which are data sensitive, and they might have policies which might want them to have the data on premise. So look out for platforms which gives you a variety of deployment models, like on the on premise, on the cloud, or you can embed your analytics application inside your custom built applications. The total cost of ownership is indeed a crucial factor for enterprise businesses. And finally, security and governance, which plays an important role when it comes to choosing your BI and analytics vendor. All right, folks. So with that, we are now stepping into the Q&A session. I request you to post your questions inside the questions box. And before I hand it over to Silas, my good friend who will be anchoring the Q&A session, a couple of FAQs. This session is being recorded and we will be circulating the recording in the next few days. Over to you, Silas.
Thank you, Ashwant. I hope my voice is audible. Can you confirm?
Yes, Silas, you're audible.
Thank you, Ashwant. All right, so thank you so much for the great session, and I'm happy to take it up the question and answers. So please post your questions in the questions tab at the left, and I'll take it up one by one. So first, I got a question from Jorge Rodriguez. Can create a chart from what I asked Zia for future use? All right. So I believe your question is more into like you're trying to create a chart in Ask Zia, and you type in a question and you get the result, and you're asking whether you can use it in future. Absolutely. Uh, you will find an option to save the report, whatever the report that you have received as the result in Zoho Analytics. When you type in and get it as a result in Ask Zia, obviously you will get it. You will have an option to save that particular report, and you can refer it and use it in future. And of course, you have the option to go ahead and add the report directly into a dashboard. In addition to that, if you think the report, the result is partially correct and you prefer to make some edit manually in that report, you can do that as well. So a lot more customizations available on top of it, and please do try it out, the Ask Zia feature in the product. One interesting point I just want to mention here is now Ask Zia has multilingual support, so it also supports the Spanish language. So you can use Spanish to ask your questions and get results. All right, moving to next question from Patrick. Will data sync be improved from 3 hours to a sooner time frame? That's a very good question, Patrick. I could say it's one of the frequently asked question as well. Definitely, that's something in the pipeline. It's under the development currently. We are trying to reduce that to the 1 hour data synchronization for all the business apps application, and also as we move forward, we have the option to do it for some databases as well. So definitely, we are trying to make it more less frequency time frame in terms of synchronization. And in addition to that, you have the option to go ahead and synchronize the data manually at any point of time. You can do it up to 5 times in a day in any business apps integrations and databases. So yeah, that's the plan. And moving to the next question from Alpha, that is there any way to embed the data into customized design templates, that is PowerPoint slides, and the data is being pulled from Zoho Analytics? Absolutely. So what you can do is you have the option to build slideshows in Zoho Analytics. There are two different types of slideshows. One is called the basic slideshow. The other one is called advanced slideshow. So basic slideshow is just embedding the reports and dashboard. I mean, it's not embedding, you're just having that multiple reporting objects comes as multiple slides. But recently in the Zoho Analytics 5.0 release that we made on July 2021, you have the option to completely embed the analytics inside an extensive presentation builder. We are basically incorporating a product called Zoho Show, which is available within Zoho ecosystem. So right inside the Zoho Show, you'll be able to embed the analytics, and then you can go ahead and share it with other users, publishing, and so on. So you can create it as a template. The reports will be dynamic, and that can be used. So that's something feasible right now. All right. I'm happy to take it up more questions. So I believe I got a question from Linda in chat. Although we recommend you to post your questions in questions tab, just want to take it up that question as well. What about a data lakehouse? I believe you're asking about database connections in Zoho Analytics. That's more into like data lake connections, where you can connect your data source, bring in the data, and then build the visualizations. As you might aware of it, Zoho Analytics can connect more than 250 plus data sources, a lot of business applications, files and feeds, right from I mean the local drive, cloud storages like Google Drive, Zoho Docs, and so on. In addition to that, we also connect the databases. So when it comes to databases, we have the option to connect the local databases as well as the cloud hosted services. So when it comes to local databases, Zoho Analytics can connect almost all databases that supports the JDBC drivers. That includes the relational databases, NoSQL database, also like MongoDB and so on. Using a utility called Zoho Data Bridge, you can connect the database and bring in the data and schedule that import process where it can automatically synchronize the data on a schedule basis. So similarly, you have the option to connect the cloud databases, let it be the Amazon services, AWS, Redshift, or I mean RDS, and similarly Microsoft Azure, Google, Google Cloud SQL, and Snowflake, and a lot more cloud hosted services, Oracle DB, and so on. So you have the option to connect the cloud databases as well. And when it comes to the cloud databases, the interesting point here is either you have the option to import the data into Zoho Analytics and do the reporting. That's one aspect. The other aspect is more into like a live connection where the data will reside in your source, and you can just bring in the metadata like the column headers and so on, and build the visualizations on top of it. And absolutely, you can blend these data across different data sources, make it, like accumulate the data and make it unified for consolidation report across organizations and so on. So that's pretty much possible. And of course, the product is pretty much scalable. It can scale a very large volume of data. We do have customers using hundreds of millions of records. In fact, one of our biggest customers is using more than 2 billion records in one account, and hundreds of millions of data in one table and so on. So the product is pretty much scalable over the cloud and on-premise version as well. So absolutely, you can try it out the product and see how that's going to work for you. All right, so I'm happy to pick it up further questions if you have any. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and allow attendees to post the questions. All right, so we got a question from Harvey that can we use Zoho Analytics as a standalone DB where we can use it in an API call to be used in a website and do CRUT operations? All right, so very interesting question, Harvey. But my recommendation is please do not use Zoho Analytics as a transactional database. Obviously, It's a BI tool. It works on the analytics layer, so it is not recommended to use as a proper transaction DB, a kind of a cloud storage, because it typically allow you to bring in data, store your data. On top of it, you can go ahead and do the analytics and so on. The reason you're not, I mean, you cannot use it as a transactional database is you have some restrictions in terms of API threshold. So when you make API calls, there is a limit on the number of API calls that you can make per minute, and also it depends upon different operations. So when you say CRUD operations, I know you are talking about like create, read, update, delete, and everything. But as long as you're trying to do these operations within the given limit, and you're talking about a considerable volume of data, very few millions of records, I think that's perfectly fine to an extent. But when we are talking about a very large volume of data, like hundreds of millions of records or 50 millions of records and so on, in addition to that, you're trying to perform a lot of API calls in and out as a transaction in DB, then that's not recommended model, because Zoho Analytics works purely as an analytics product. It works a layer above the data lake or data storage layer. So that's the suggested model. For your requirement, we would recommend you to try out the different solutions. Either it could be the cloud storages like AWS and so on, or even in Zoho, if you're trying to build some applications, we offer a serverless platform called Catalyst, which is a very good a product to be trying out certain capabilities out there in case you're trying to handle certain applications, microservices, and other operations in Zoho. So that's how it's going to work. So that's my recommendation. And if you have any questions on it, please get in touch with us, our support, and we are happy to help you. And also, we will share this API limit documentation with you in the Q&A right away. You can check out the frequency limit, like what kind of API can be used. So, for example, like let's say you're trying to do some, import operations or export operations, that the limit is slightly different when you compare to the operations like add records and so on. So I just shared it in the API doc as well. I mean, the help docs and limits as well with you. All right. So happy to take it up one or two more questions, and then we can move forward. All right. I got a question about Ask Zia in terms of providing control uh, to different users when it comes to data democratization. All right, this is also one of the frequently asked question. Of course, as you know that Azia will allow you to build the reports and dashboards easily. So you share it with other users with some fine-grained access control and so on, and they can go ahead and simply ask the question and build the reports using the natural language querying technology. In terms of authorization on what data can be used by user, it's of course you have the option to control it, because when you're trying to share the reporting objects with different users with different permissions, for example, you prefer to share only the East region data with East region manager, or maybe you have data comes from different sources like sales, marketing, finance, or some ERP custom applications, everything in one place. And when you're trying to share this data set, you have the option to share what data set that you want to share it with the user. And of course, you have the option to define the fine grain access controls, like whether they can view the data or they can export the data and everything. In addition to that, you have the option to apply the row level security, where you can say what kind of or what specific associated data can be shared with the user, like a region specific or a user specific, and so on. Based on that, the end users can consume the report. So the Zia operations, I mean, the as Zia operations can be performed on top of whatever the data set that's shared with the user. So it's more often like they cannot go ahead and query on top of overall data set until unless you don't share it with them. So you have the option to control it in Zia. But maybe just want to specify this point as well. This is not only focused on Ask Zia. Of course, when you're trying to share reporting objects with different users, you have the option to control what data can be shared with the user. and what kind of operations that the user can perform on top of the data, and that's absolutely necessary for managing the enterprise solutions. I know. So I'm sure Zoho Analytics has that capability in terms of providing the fine grained access control. Even you have the option to specify some variables out there. So you have the option to come up with some variables, like you can define some variables like this user associated with this data and so on, and then you're trying to invoke that variable dynamically, and then take it up the reports and dashboards, or consume the reports and dashboards based on the filtered data set. So that absolutely works. All right, so one last question before I end up the Q&A session, again from Alpha, that what is the most ideal sync duration for result to show the most actual result? Is there any harm to have uh, simultaneous synchronization? It depends, Alfred. So let me explain that process again. Let's assume that you have a table and you're trying to bring in the data from different data sources into the same table, and you're trying to do multiple data synchronization at the same time in the same table. Obviously, you will have some conflict because it will try to do some cyclic process, where it may end up in cyclic process like a deadlock, where it'll try to hold a particular column or a row or something, and it'll other data source trying to use the same and so on. So it is not recommended to have the simultaneous data update, or lock a specific table for data refresh or any operations. So it is recommended to hold it on a sequential basis. And also, we recommend you to have it with some buffer time between the synchronization schedulers, wherever the data that comes from. Try to maintain some buffer time in between the data synchronization schedulers, in case if there is any delay in the scheduler, or any lapse in the time to complete the data synchronization due to the data volume or something. It ensures that it's not going to affect or overlap the next data synchronization process. Of course, we have some smart techniques to handle that. If the table is occupied with a particular synchronization operation, then the next subsequent synchronization will try to go to queue, or it will abort that operation as long as that's try to wait and so on. So things can be handled to an extent at the backend, obviously, but it's recommended to maintain a buffer time between the schedulers and have the data synchronization appropriately. All right, so I think that helps. With that, let me go ahead and end the Q&A session. So thank you all for your time. I'll hand it over to Ashwin, and Ashwin will give a couple of slides in terms of summary, and then we can close the session. Thank you all. Over to you, Ashwin.
Thank you very much, Silas, for anchoring the Q&A session. Folks, please note the follow-up webinar. We will be demonstrating how Zoho Analytics can be the best fit for your enterprise BI needs. It's happening on the 1st of September between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. PT. So with that, you can write to us on support@zohoanalytics.com, or you can write to laura@zohocorp.com. Now, if you want to experience a modern BI and analytics platform, we invite you to try at zoho.com/analytics. That's it for the day, folks. Thank you very much for sticking along, and have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.